Hi there, Eric Hansen here, ready to make another drawing. If you want to see the previous ones I've done, you can check me out at Supreme Hansen on Instagram. A couple days ago, I made a drawing of my sort of then dying carnations. I'd had them for over a week, and I was going to throw them out, but I thought they looked pretty great, so why don't I do a drawing of them? And here we are a week later. This is the way they look. They're getting closer to dying. Maybe they're actually dead. I was speaking to my mom this morning. She lives in Minnesota, and I told her about the drawing that I just showed you. And I said, yeah, I'm looking at those pink carnations now, and they're pretty much dead. And my mom said to me, I bet they're not pink. And well, as you can see, they kind of are pink, just a different color pink. It's pink with a lot of brown in them. You know, I think they're beautiful. It reminds me of this, I'm no scholar, but it reminds me of this Japanese word called Wabisabi. And it's got many different interpretations. You can look it up. It's a fascinating word. But one aspect of what it means is kind of appreciating change and appreciating death and appreciating the moment. For me, that's one of the things about dead flowers that I really like, is that this is the way they look today. They looked a lot different a week ago. Who knows, I might even keep them sitting here for another week, and let's see what happens then. But in any event, let's do a 7-minute isolation station drawing of this. I mentioned in some previous videos that some of my artist friends came up with this idea for a Facebook page called Isolation Station. And what they do is they do 7-minute drawings and they post them. I can't get to my studio. I mean, I can get to my studio, but we're being told to stay at home. So I'm doing my best to be a good citizen and stay at home. So this is my kitchen table. There's a story of how they got this kitchen table a long time ago. But in any event, my setup here is the flowers on the kitchen table. We're looking up here. Oh yes, you can see there's my angle poise lamp. Why do I have an angle poise lamp? Because there was a song that I really liked when I was younger by a band called the Soft Boys. And the song was called I Want to Be an Angle Poise Lamp. So when I moved into this new apartment and I needed a light over my kitchen table, I got on eBay and saw an angle poise lamp so I could live with one myself. Anyway, let's get started on this 7-minute drawing. Okay, we're going to set the timer to 12:15. And let's get started. There's no wrong way to do this. You can start anywhere you want. I'm going to start with this flower right up there. Not the one I touched, but the one next to it. Yeah, it's dead. But it's also, you know, quite beautiful. Look at those shapes. I'm doing my best to replicate these gorgeous shapes. I try not to let myself go too crazy. I could sort of over-critique myself here and say, like, no, you didn't get that shape right. No, that shape's more like this. And yeah, if I had a lot more time, if I didn't set this time limit on myself, I would be a lot slower and I would be a lot more careful. And I would try and get the shapes even more and more perfect than they really are, more realistic, more truthful, more honest. I think it's kind of truthful and honest to be sitting here drawing dying, dead flowers and thinking about them and just kind of putting yourself in that mode while drawing them. Maybe that's a way to keep it honest and real. Boy, I don't know. What do you think? Try not to do too much erasing because we don't have a lot of time here. But in any event, sometimes it's correct. So now I'm drawing this flower here. Oof, that's beautiful, isn't it? It's exceptional. I mean, I really wish I could draw each petal and get it all 100% correct, but like I said earlier, we don't really have enough time. So let's just kind of keep in our head what we're doing, and we're drawing some dead flowers, but we're appreciating the beauty in them. We're not thinking of dead as bad. We're thinking of dead as one of the stages of life. I know Dolly Parton says that as soon as you're born, you start dying. And I think that's pretty great. I told my 94-year-old mom that the other day. She got a good chuckle out of that too. So anyway, yeah, there we go. We're trying to get it right. We're going to get it pretty close to right. Look at that, the way that green leaf comes up and kind of hides some of those petals. So beautiful. That's the great thing about drawing, is that it really forces you to stop and look. Okay, how are we doing on time? We're about halfway through, 3.5 minutes. I think it might be time to add a little bit of color. I like to start with the green. Well, it doesn't matter what you start with, but in any event, part of the reason I like to get some green on here pretty quick is because I didn't actually 100% draw all of the stems, because the stems are so thin. If I were to draw them in pencil and then try and fill them in, I might not get that right. Now, I just happen to have these pencils here that turn into watercolor when you brush them with some water, and I really like them a lot. So we are going to do that in a little bit. But let's try and get some of this pink. There's so many different shades of pink on this, right? And some of them are kind of like, there's a lot of brown too. Yeah, it's so fun. Still keep thinking of that thing that my mom said when I told her I'd drawn some pink carnations that are now dead, and now she said, I bet they're not pink anymore. Well, you know, they are pink, just a different kind of pink. An exceptionally beautiful kind of pink, I think. What do you guys think? Okay, so how are we doing on time? We got 2 minutes left. Okay, let's see what we can do in those 2 minutes. Yeah, I said we need some brown. There's a fair amount of brown over here, especially the undersides tend to be brown, right? Because that's the decayed part. That's the dead, dying part, which is still, I can't say it enough. It's exceptionally beautiful, these dead parts. I mean, I've always been interested in art that's kind of like a record of its own making, or art that implies a certain kind of time element, like something, like a record of something that happened over time. I mean, well, that's what you get with flowers, is that, they looked one way last week and they look a different way today. All right, let's start filling some of these flowers in. Let's see what we get. And get rid of some of the water. There's usually too much water on the brush. All right. Okay, right away I can see that these flowers are in the drawing, they're a lot brighter than they are in real life. As I mentioned, there's so much brown going on in the flowers. But let's focus on the jar. Now we have to paint this mason, we have to draw this mason jar that the flowers are sitting in. All right, and it's got a cool shape. It's fun to draw things that are transparent because the stuff that you see through it, like the water, the consistency or the optics of the glass are going to affect that. Now I can tell right away to we don't have enough room to draw the entire length of this vase. Well, that's okay. Oh, but one thing we did forget to do, we forgot to continue. Yeah, we forgot to continue these guys down into the vase and into the water. So you see what happens there is that it gets distorted, and we're not going to get this 100% right, but let's just try. Let's see what happens. How are we doing on time? We're just about done here. Okay, so now we've continued these guys down to there, and let's imply some water, because, well, the water is actually not blue here, is it? But somehow it's kind of a convention that we have, that water is often blue. Okay, there we go. There's a 7-minute drawing of these carnations.